So, I just.
All right.
No worries, no worries. Just in case.
Oh, absolutely. So,
We're ready to go?
Yeah, we are.
Hey, Savannah, when you guys, after the meeting, can you go to 727, take a picture of those dumpsters, 727 North 21st again? Garbage is all over the place.
Elizabeth. Elizabeth, got a question for you.
Yeah, we call it in every week.
Yes, Bobby.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Officer Wickers to say something. Let me know if you can hear him. Say something.
hello.
Have him say it again.
Say it again a little louder.
Hello.
Yeah, I think I got a thumbs up there from Norm, it looks like. So I think I think that's
Okay,
good.
so just get that as a test for the microphone up here to see if they can pick you up from the back. Yeah, we're okay. Just a little louder if you got a question. Or if Jim Peter comes in the door, we can.
Yeah, right. All right, is everybody in?
Yeah, we're all in.
Okay.
All
Good
right.
afternoon. What's that?
You want on mute.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kent Corey. I'm co-chair of the Near West Side Landlord Compact. This is Bobby McQuay, outreach coordinator. We won't go around the room. There's a few people here, but we'll get started with our agenda in our meeting today. We start off with the guest speaker, Christina Kohler from United Way. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kent and Bobby. Yes, so I'm here with brief but positive news. Harley Davidson has granted United Way a $50,000 grant to support our Safe and Stable Homes initiative. This is our initiative to end family homelessness in our 4-county region in 2023. But they want this money to specifically support household security in the Near West Side. So we partner with Near West Side Partners, Impact 211, Harley Davidson Foundation, and have created this flex fund, really hoping for landlords to get engaged in referring people to us. So if you want to go to the next slide, Elizabeth, talking about who is eligible. So if you have family tenants that have applied for emergency rental assistance through Rent Help MKE or Community Advocates, and they use the maximum amount of assistance they can get, or they're ineligible for any reason, please reach out to us with this funding. Let us know. We're looking for family tenants. So those are households with children under 18. And the funding is intended for rental arrears or energy arrears, but there is flexibility within it. We are humans behind the system making these decisions of how to keep families from, experiencing an eviction and homelessness. So let us know if there are complicated situations too, where we can be more flexible with these funds. On the next slide, Elizabeth, to show you how to apply. It's pretty easy. We want landlords to email Erica, who will be running this program, at eolson@impactinc.org. We have a flyer for you with all this information as well. Use the subject line Near West Side Flex Fund request and include your information, your contact information, the name of the tenant, the address of the unit, and the amount that you're requesting for renter utility assistance. And any extra context if you need or you're requesting for more flexibility of funds too. If you attach your W-9, that'll help us process those funds as quickly as possible. And we'll also funnel eligible households that may be called 211 on their own or referred to us from our other community partners, like community advocates, that would also qualify for these funds. And on the next slide, Elizabeth shows the distribution of funds. So those checks will be made out directly to you, the landlords. They'll be processed through Impact. They'll be facilitated either through the mail or the checks can be picked up. We can arrange that. The funding, the $50,000 will be distributed on a first come, first served basis until those funds are depleted. I will make announcements or send that information over to Kent and Bobby about remaining funds available for during future landlord compact meetings, so you're always in the know. Families may receive this funding once, and if they need it a second time, email Erica and let us know. It might be more reasonable or possible for us to connect them to case management that could connect them to a more holistic array of services to keep them stably housed. So please let us know if there's a second attempt for a household. And then on the final slide is our contact information again. My contact information at United Way. You can always reach out to me with any kind of question. Kay Kohler at unitedwaygmwc.org. GMWC is for Greater Milwaukee, Waukesha County. Or Erica Olson, who is going to be managing this program behind the scenes at eolson@impactinc.org. Like I said, all of this information is in a one-page flyer that I've sent out to the meeting co-chairs. So hopefully they can send it along whenever it's appropriate.
Excellent. Thank you, Christina.
Bobby, we can't hear you.
Okay. Oh, okay, can you hear me now? Okay, sorry about that. Thanks, Dwayne. Is this program only initiated by the landlord, or could a tenant contact you guys first and then you contact the landlord?
That's appropriate too. We just want to make sure that landlords feel engaged in this process.
Okay, and the second, I guess the second question is, if you have physical flyers that you could send over or an electronic copy, we could distribute that out in the community on our regular drop-offs and canvassing.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much.
And thank you for bringing this wonderful opportunity to us and our landlords. I hope it's something that, could be utilized.
Yeah.
I know it's definitely needed.
Great. Thank you.
Christina, is this exclusive just to the Near West Side?
Correct. Yes. Harley Davidson has given us those strict perimeters of just areas within the Near West Side partner target neighborhoods.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. All right. Again, thank you for joining us today. Do we have guest speakers? No,
just
one day. Right. We'll get right to the nuisance properties.
Hey, guys, it seems like Bobby's microphone is only able to pick up whoever it's, I don't know, closest to, but now Kent, we're having a hard time hearing you.
Yeah, we're getting a little closer.
It's on.
Kent, say something, Kent.
Hello, hello.
That's better.
Okay, I only moved it 6 inches. I guess that's all it took. We'll get started with negative impact properties, 2848 West Wisconsin, calls for service.
One call.
Do we know what that was at all?
Noise nuisance.
Noise nuisance?
Mhm.
Do we have somebody for DNS today?
Yes, I'm filling in for, my name is Archie Blunt. I'm the manager of special enforcement for the Department of Neighborhood Services. Also, I have my supervisor, Pete Larison. He's supervisor of special enforcement. Dave Belasco was supposed to be at this meeting, but he was not able to come to work. So we're here.
Appreciate it.
I've been to these meetings before, so I thought it was a good opportunity since he was gone for me to check back in with the group and see what's going on. 2848 Wisconsin Avenue. We do have open orders on that property. The owner is Gary Kruckenberg, and he's one of our landlords who is on our special landlord list. So we monitor his properties and we filled all of the complaints. So as it stands, we do have open fire violations at this location that were revealed during the fire inspection. And also on 7030 North 29th Street, the same thing.
Okay, he's still in monthly billing for interior work or interior orders, or is that stopped?
I'm sorry, I did not hear you. You got muffled.
Are they still getting billed for interior orders on monthlies?
You asking me, do they have monthly orders? Is that what you're asking?
Billy, are they getting billed?
I'll check that out. I don't think
Okay.
that this property is on monthlies, but I will look into that before the end of the call and see.
And then 730 North 29th Street. There was some possibly court in progress.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear.
Okay. So give me a second, guys. What I'm trying to do, Dwayne, is to-
Bobby, we can hear you well, so wherever it's located in reference to you, it's very clear when you speak, but it's real hard to hear Kent.
Okay,
It's closer to me.
there you go.
Hello, is that better?
Much better.
Okay, then the external speaker isn't working, or mic. Okay, I guess I said it wrong. Monthly re-inspections.
And you're asking if these properties are currently on monthly reinspection?
We were told that 2848 was. I just wanted to know if that was continuing. And then there was something about 730 North 29th Street last month. Court order, or there was something that was going to court. Court in process.
Let me check those out on the system and then I'll have that
Okay.
information for you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Since we're on 730 North 29th Street, calls for service.
None.
Officer, was it 0?
0.
Okay.
Just to let the group know, we did a survey with Richard Lucas on this property, and the day that we were there, it was an actual inspector, a special inspector that met him down there as well. So, yeah, I think it is doing some monthlies, but the condition of the building, needless to say, at this point is in pretty poor shape, but the owner also, really didn't want to talk much about the building anymore. I believe at this point, he believes that we are maybe picking on his properties now.
All righty. While you look at that, we're just gonna keep going down the list here. Serve time. 3345 West Highland.
There was one call, which was a robbery.
DNS. Do you have anything for?
Yes, this property has current open orders that our residential section is handling, but we do have orders on that property also. And that's the Highland 3345 West Highland.
That's correct.
Yes, we do have orders on that in our residential section. And 2848 West Wisconsin Avenue, that is on, you're correct, that property is also on monthly inspections.
It's still, okay. Next property, 1143 North 29th.
No calls. 0.
DNS.
And for us, we have current orders on that property, and that property is, I think, owned by Jamila Properties. And we have an open order in our residential section.
Yeah, I believe this is one of the properties that got sold to Verada last week. Oh, and a group from Illinois? Gotcha. Is that the 3?
Yes,
2920, 3345, and 1143?
yes.
Okay. All right, next property. 2809 West Highland, calls for service.
2 calls for service, fight, and a noise nuisance.
DNS.
DNS does have open orders as a result of a fire inspection at this location.
Thank you. Next property. 2904 West Wisconsin, calls for service.
No calls. 0.
DNS.
DNS, we have open orders and also orders in court for this location. And we recently did a there was complaints out here about the electrical system and also the roof was leaking at the property. And we were able to gain access to the roof to see the conditions of it and issued orders for that. So this owner is Crosby, and he is also on our special landlord list, and we will be monitoring this location pretty closely.
Sounds good. Thank you. Next property, 3006 West Highland Boulevard. Calls for service.
One call, trouble with subject.
DNS.
DNS has open orders at this location being handled by our residential section.
Okay. Next property, 2448 West Kilbourne. Calls for service.
0 calls.
DNS.
DNS has open orders at this location that were a result of a fire inspection.
And last property, 3516 West Kilbourne. Calls for service.
No calls.
DNS.
We have open orders for the exterior of this building. And this particular building has been a problem in the community in general. I know there's a lot of the citizens out there who've been sending emails. It's been a long email chain. My inspector, and I believe along with MPD, will be trying to do a knock and talk at this location in the upcoming week.
Was this the property that we were talking about that had a fire?
I don't know. If you're talking to me, no, I don't know
Okay.
anything about a fire at 3516 West Kilbourne.
Okay, okay.
Andy Song is also an owner that is on
Sure.
our special landlord
Back
list,
over
and we
here.
monitor what's happening with his locations too.
What was his name?
Andy Song.
Okay. Thank you. I believe that is it for our list. We have commercial properties next.
Hey, I just want to go back to 3516 West Kilbourne. Officer Cruz and I did a knock and talk with the individual. We do get emails from a citizen in the area regarding this property, but she is not calling it in at all. She's remaining anonymous, and in order for us to do something with this property, we do need a victim or somebody to be a complainant. So we have gone out there and talked to the individual that's living at this property, letting them know that neighbors are complaining about the behaviors happening at that house.
And can you be more specific on behavior?
So they're talking about the lady who publicly urinated on the side of somebody's home. in
Yeah,
the
they're
area.
talking about fights.
Loose
they're-
dogs.
The thing is, they're
The
not-
list is on the slide.
Yeah,
I believe that's a write-up of what they have
All this
sent
here?
over.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we need them to be complainants in order for us to nuisance this property.
Why can't Near West Side be?
So I'll talk on this.
Right.
Well, so it's Officer Cruz, sorry, I'm looking all well. The thing is, so we have to get called out there when it's actually happening, right? And
Right.
when we are getting called out there. The calls are really turned into documented calls. So for an example is the loose animals. When I was looking at the calls for service, it's loose animal, dog's no longer loose, it's inside the house. So that's not nothing.
Right,
When it
right.
goes to trouble with subjects, it's I hear people arguing and it appears they're fighting outside in the street. But then they're left. And then another one from an individual that is always emailing called and stated that it was a noise nuisance, they're being loud in front of my house, but I'm not willing to be a complainant. police don't get sent out to if you're not going to be a complainant.
Right.
I've sent several different emails regarding this. I know there's a lot of people tagged within those emails that I have sent out explaining the nuisance nuisance, how to do it, how the documentation. But we just need more cooperation. And I also talked to Generic. We're going to be going out there next week. We have a date plan for that whole block of DNS violations. I know DNS is doing a great job already out there doing their thing. I've seen the emails they're putting in, all the stuff that is in it. So, but yeah, if you guys are in contact with them, it's just more, we need, just more cooperation.
So is this a duplex or a house?
It's it's using it as a single family house.
They're a single family.
Yeah.
And we've talked to the ownership of the single family or the resident of the single family?
The resident. We haven't gotten a response from Andy Song.
With the tenant.
That we can put a strong letter together.
Correct. Okay. All right. Thank you for that update. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Letter. All right, commercial properties. 930 North 27th Street, Family Dollar.
One call for service. We had a trouble with subject there.
DNS?
There are open orders at this location being handled by our commercial section.
Is Logan or someone representing Family Dollar on?
I couldn't understand you. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was just asking, was Logan or someone representing Family Dollar where they're on this call? If not, I could speak briefly about some of the contact that we had with them recently. We did a walkthrough of the property, met with the district manager of the location. They made some promises of doing some low-hanging fruit work in the inside, like changing ceiling tiles out. They gave us a date when they were going to get the flow stripped and resealed. They also came on a neighborhood tour with us just yesterday. And again, they're still in some court proceedings that need to be had in regards to their licensing, but there is an open line of communication, and we're talking directly to management about some of the issues that we had concerning the community. So we have had some contact with them. They seem to be responsive, but again, this is all new leadership inside the store. So we're in a wait and see pattern as far as the relationship as to what are they doing. Like of this picture right here, since yesterday, they've taken away one of the cans and the lot appeared to be clean. However, the storm drain in the middle of the parking lot seems to be clogged, and every time it rains a heavy rain, it floods, and it's again flooded today. Is that still with us? And Kelly.
Or Kelly, I mean, Kelly, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Was there a hearing in March? I had a note.
it was just a status conference and they're still awaiting the case being assigned to a court of appeals. The next status conference isn't until September 12th.
Thank you. And I'm sorry.
I can't hear whatever else you're saying.
That's okay. Never mind.
Okay.
Thank you. Next property. 927 North 27th. Gare Bears.
Zero calls for service.
DNS.
No orders from DNS.
Is there anyone here representing Gare Bears? Okay, Kent, I have got a word that the building may be in play for being sold. I know more about next meeting. But there's an offer on the building.
Thank you. Next property, 914 North 27th. Calls for service.
Zero.
Nothing
DNS?
nothing from DNS.
Thank you.
Are there anyone representing Wendy's today? Okay, so we're starting to see the weather shifting a little bit to a little bit warmer, and we're starting to see the loitering starting to come about again. We have a business tip meeting scheduled for April 20th. ADA Kelly is going to be kind of leading the show. I'll be in the second position with her, and we're going to talk to the businesses on 27th Street, as well as in the Marquette area, about expectations about reporting, how to report standing complaint orders, and how we could best work with them to try to get ahead of the loitering that usually occurs at this location along the alleyway.
All right, next property. 2903 West Clybourne Street.
0 calls.
And DNS does have open orders at this location from a fire inspection.
All right, next property, 2622 West Kilbourne. Calls for service.
0 calls.
DNS.
I'm gonna have to look this one up because I didn't see this one on the list here. So I'll
Okay.
look this one. 24/7.
While DNS
Oh, I
is-
do have information on this one. I'm sorry, but I didn't see this one on our list. So this property just came to Boza and was actually dismissed this Thursday. DNS has been in contact with the owner at this location. He just sent the plan to us, although this has nothing to do with DNS as far as what his work plan is. And he's talking about vacating the lot and moving his belongings. We do have orders and citations pending in court for this location also.
Okay. Thank you for that update. I believe that's the last.
Okay, so what we have is,
Yep, one second. Is that the last commercial property? All right, we're gonna go back to 3516 West Kilbourne. Would you like to introduce yourself and then? Okay,
This is my daughter, Anisha Wright.
okay. Are you a resident at the house? Are you the only resident that lives there in the house? You are, okay.
can you
Or-
take the slide back, please?
Can I just ask how long you've been at the property? Roughly 5 years?
Thank you. Okay.
So we have the list of complaints that were brought to our attention. March 31st, fighting and public urination. April 2nd, dumping garbage and stealing of garbage cart. April 3rd, dog outside barking at 11:30 p.m. April 4th, dog loose in Raphael and Teresa's yard. The neighbors around 11 p.m. Later tried that front porch barking continued. Later tied up on the front porch barking continuously. April 6th, loud yelling and arguing, and then dog feces on front porch and some broken windows. And those are the complaints that came in to us. Do you have a dog also at the house? Okay.
So the dog sees that, the dog get excited because the dog, she knows her.
Sure.
So they use that. Paper to move it, so try to sit around sometimes. So my neighbor has the dog as well.
Okay.
Their dog only have a one-sided box, the side is a commercial building, so it's only one side for a rental. My dog never attacked anyone. My dog does bark because if a dog sees someone, the dog is going to bark. Now, if I was in a more dominant area, if it was just them and
Yeah.
their dogs see me, and everybody in the neighborhood dogs bark, anyone is going to call and say, "Oh, I'm hearing the dog." Since I'm the only one on my block that is they are more dominant than me, they try to figure out any type of excuse to them. Now, with the trash being dumped, it don't matter what goes on the block, they just assume that it's me. Now, about 2 days ago, 3 o'clock in the morning, someone broke into their house. They see someone fidgeting with the door, automatically she assumes that it's me. He came to the house later on that day and said, "Oh yeah, my husband came to the door. We thought it was a friend coming. He realized that it wasn't a friend. He stopped fighting at the guy that was trying to come through the door." And she said, "Oh well, I thought it was you guys. I thought you guys were good." So no matter what happens, they just assume that it's us. Now, a dog is going to bark if it's a dog. Now, if anything is going on, they're going to assume that it's me. They don't have no proof. They don't have no evidence. They just want to explain it on you.
Sure.
And
Okay.
as far as the garbage cans, she the only house that has the garbage cans in the front due to the fact that all their garbage is in the back.
Got it.
And she put a fence to,
I'm on the lock room. So the house that was made back then, never was built. There was a garage in the back of it.
Mhm.
The house was condemned for so long, my neighbor bought the garage.
at least that's what they say.
Right. So since they
Got
said
it.
that no one tried to purchase the property before, instead of her purchasing the home and the garage, she just purchased the garage. So her name is on the garage. But in back of my house, I have a yard, but I have no way to my attic because she has the garage. So
Okay.
when we stand there, she never had a gate, it does nothing. So now it's a gate that's crossing over to the land of the property that I'm in order for her to create this gate, for her to feel as if I'm going to make sure that it's blocked in for just for me. But she has to come over to the property that I'm in order to have access to that garage. So now I don't, if anything was to happen, a
Right,
fire, or
strange.
anything, I can only use my front door. I can't use my back door because I have no way to get into the back. So I pay extra for garbage. I pay extra for extra 2 good garbage cans and extra blue recycle garbage.
Okay.
So I never took my own garbage can. I have been told
Okay.
that someone had dumped out some trash. But who's to say that that's me?
So let me ask you, go back to the dog. Do you let so you have a fenced in area attached to the house where you don't? Okay. All right. Right. Okay. Yeah, I want to just touch on the dog because if a dog is loose and not on a leash. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Able to get my dog out the next day. Updated with all the shop records. We just like they keep picking them.
Sure.
That way, creating some type of paper trail, and that's what they have done. So now they got me at the boss because it's nothing that I can do myself. Paper trail, but it's just to remove me. That it's nothing that I'm physically doing.
Okay. All right. We don't have, some of this stuff again is being reported. It's not been substantiated yet as far as any of the complaints. By the time the officers got out there, they, found no violations. As a neighborhood group, we're here to support whether it's a resident, a tenant, it doesn't matter, right? So we want to, now that we're aware of the situation, we want to move forward. We want to talk to the owner. We want to talk to the neighbors, and we'll make contact. And,
because it is harassment, by the way. even though you don't have the paper trail on there, I had to talk to the city personally myself due to the fact that when we first moved there, when I was staying there as well, they was complaining about the flowers that I put there. She's saying, so the city came out and said that I couldn't have it so many feet, but here it is, she got these, cause she do wildlife.
Okay.
So because she do wildlife, she can have the monarchs to feed off the flowers that's over 4 feet tall. But yet you coming over here where the grass is level, saying that, you know.
They can't have a couple tulips.
Right, right. And I had to take pictures of it. I had to take pictures of it and,
Okay.
and present it to the city that it wasn't, you know, a nuisance. The garbage cans have to sit there. We can't take the garbage to the back. The cans have to sit on that little slab on to the right of the
Okay.
property.
All right. I'm not familiar with the property personally, but we are gonna, you know, we'll go out, take pictures, we'll get the documentation we need, and, you know, just to move forward to see what we can do to help.
If I could just.
You're not the only one that has a dog. So when I'm in that area and they treat their dogs like they're family. So when I'm walking past and the dog is barking all through the window or the dog is outside and there's, you know what I'm saying, acting vicious, I'm not gonna call and say, okay, well, your dog is barking. That's exactly what goes on. Now, I don't know.
That is a thing.
And that's just, and when the officers come out, they see that the dog is not barking to attack. If the
Right.
dog is barking to me, the dog is saying, yeah, I remember you. I'm a dog. The dog. But that's, but considering. Well, considering your comment, wait a minute, considering your comment, I understand where you're coming from, but they have dogs that actually attacks people, okay? I mean, I'm talking about, it's more than one person that got attacked by their dogs. They have dogs too. We're not the
Okay.
only one that got dogs. Everybody on the block has dogs. Don't pick up their pieces. At least we do walk with a garbage bag and, you know, pick up. The
Okay.
I'm not
Okay.
the complainers they are. You will never hear about it.
So when you.
No, he didn't bite it. He attacked it and started running around. And my daughter is only 5 at the time. She's nervous. She don't know what to do. She just ate
Yeah,
it.
that's right.
Now, my
So
dog is barking. Even when my dog was loose, if my dog tried to attack me, I did put my dog on the leash. Right.
So let.
I couldn't even get that close to your dog.
It's-
to put on the leash.
I know that.
Not only have I engaged,
I was
I'm
told
told.
not to.
Wait a minute, let me answer this question. Wait a minute, let me answer this question. Not only have I engaged, but I actually went out and I created that whole bag with all different types of vegetables. And I'm talking about, I grew the biggest squash, the biggest tomatoes, everything. And
We
so,
heard.
right, I communicate with both of them. She doing wildlife, the neighbor over from her is doing tomatoes and vegetables like I am. And then Amy is doing vegetables like I am. And so we not only communicate, but we even give each other, you know, part of our garden. So we get along well.
So what I'm gonna ask, and you can't really settle anything, but would you guys be interested in having a meeting, you know, it seems like something that could be.
Right,
Sure, I have talked to Amy, a couple of times, and she tells me, Amy is like writing me, Linda's nephew, and other neighbors that makes all the complaints about teaching.
Okay, so what we would do, we'll set up a meeting, see if everybody comes and see what we
Mark?
There's also free mediation. State of Milwaukee has free mediation. You got just. Can't get.
See, like they're not
solution.
here today, you know, but it was mandatory to come, right?
No, voluntary.
Oh,
Yeah,
Nice thing about mediation. You don't even have to look at each other. You could be at a computer in the comfort of your house. The people you don't get along with are in the comfort of your own house. And there's a-
we don't, it's not that we don't get along with them. They tell you, but they don't tell us. No problem.
okay.
You could get it on paper. That's it. You could get an agreement.
Well, I have my email.
I got paper that says you agree to this. That's the key.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we will contact. If you open-
That's, no, because that's playing their favor. That's what works for me, because it's an uncontrollable situation again that they're playing. I don't know what my dog is. You say, oh, you put down that your dog not gonna bark no more. I can't say, you're right, I did say they gonna bark no more, so you just took my dog away or you can eat. I don't think that'll work in my head.
Yeah, again, complaints still have to be substantiated. There is still a noise nuisance in the city of Milwaukee, whether it's a vehicle, whether it's a dog, whether it's people, music, you know, after a certain time of night. But again, it has to be substantiated. Nobody's going to take any dogs away or fine anybody if the police, well, Matic,
Use the city ordinance to attack this particular area.
well, sure. But I don't know what Matic has, that's a whole different area of rules for Matic, right? So that's not the police department. Right. Okay, I don't know what the situation was about that, but if again. Okay, I believe you. I don't know where that comes into play with Matic and their rules. I find that to be a little hard to believe because of, again, proof. If they don't have it, I don't know why. Again, if the dog was off a leash, it might be a different story. If the dog was on a leash, I'm not sure why they would have did that. But I'm referring to the police department and fines for noise nuisance.
We got video.
Okay,
Officer Cruz, are you there?
right. No, I understand. I understand.
Yeah, I'm here.
We ain't got that kind of time. That's a job.
Yeah, can I? 1 second,
Sure.
1 second. Officer Cruz, when you guys looked up this address,
I can bear, you're like breaking up.
okay. Can you say again what the complaints were for this address?
Bobby, the
calls for
complaints
service.
are written. I don't think there were any calls for service that were
Oh,
substantiated, Bob.
here, I'll do this. You
The
got
complaints
March
are on the screen, though.
31st. You're
Yeah,
fighting
I wanted
in
to know-
public. You're fighting in public urination. A squad went out there, talked to individuals, and then the public urination part didn't even get reported until later on. I spoke to the complainant for the public urination. I notified those officers, and that's being dealt with. April 2nd, you have dumping garbage and stealing of garbage carts, which I'll look into this. That call is complainant has witnessed his neighbor littering in the alley with trash, not willing to be a complainant. So that is just a documented call. We have April 3rd, no call. April 4th, dog loose, no call. April 6th, loud yelling and arguing. Call, officers went out there, was advised. So they spoke to somebody. Male subject's not there. Dog feces on front porch, 2 broken windows. That
Okay,
could be anybody's dog or anybody on having fecal matter on a porch.
Okay, so of those things that you just listed, are any of those are all those nuisanceable offenses?
None of them are nuisanceable.
Okay, is there any indication where they took the dog, where the police urged that they, remove the dog from her house?
That was a while back, and Maddock took the dogs because they did not have water or shelter, and they were on the porch.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, it was 2 dogs in 1 cage.
2 dogs in 1.
But as far as people going in the alley, we don't have access to the alley. Okay, we don't. In order for me to get to my garden, I gotta go through her house, through her back door. Walk around the whole block. I have
Okay.
no way of doing
Listen, we're not.
And I have stopped the guy from attacking Linda. He was about to beat the mess off. He was about to beat the brakes off her. I stopped him from attacking her because she was telling him that this was her property and she didn't want him going in her garbage cans, getting the cans or whatever. I had to intervene because he was about to hit her.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that goes on. You have a lot of dump trucks, you have a lot of homeless people around. You have these people that I don't even know that come wandering around, knocking at the door. It's a lot that goes on.
Sure.
35th, the Kilbourne and Wales.
Right.
Like, you probably don't know my house, but it's familiar with me here.
Oh, yeah.
And you got a whole apartment building right in street. And it's drug trafficking, it's all kind of stuff. And we're the only 4 houses that's at the edge, other than the business that's on the very edge.
So I just want to make clear, we offering to see if we can help get you guys together. Are you guys open to that? Okay, all right, because I did hear, I know about the some on paper. Okay, so we will contact you guys, and I got my card to both of you guys. We're gonna contact you, we're gonna contact them, see if we can get sit down and see if we can bring CPU in and just see if we can clear the land, see if we can squash this before it becomes something bigger than what it is. Yeah.
Hey.
I have a lot of yes, I do. Like I said,
Yeah. Yeah, that was,
Every
I
family
asked them to
that
go
moved
back
in
because we were
that
talking
house,
about this. If we can forward the slides to the end, thank you.
Well, how you gonna buy it?
There's a different cleanup. You wanna talk about that?
Saturday, we will be doing a cleanup for the whole neighborhood. This is part of Arbors Fest. With this cleanup, we want all businesses and all people in the neighborhood to come out to help with this cleanup. This is one of our bigger cleanups this year. We just looking for the support of the community and anybody that's right here to come out to help also. Like I said, it's April 23rd at 10 o'clock. We will meet at well, we have several locations that we'll be meeting at throughout the NWS Side Partners area. So you'll see different staff at different locations, edging is on to come on out and join us. And there are flyers that we're dropping off on a daily basis to try to drum up support for the Earth Day Clean. And again, this is bigger than the NWS Side Partners. It's happening all over the city of Milwaukee. Next slide.
All right. Same place, same time. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to join us today, and we'll see you next month. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you. No.